Hey there, coaches. So I wasn't going to come in today, but I felt called to do so to share some words of love and encouragement. If you are an entrepreneur and you are feeling like business is bringing you to your knees, and more specifically, you may be feeling somewhat panicked and stressed and anxious about money. So the lack of money. So if this is resonating with you, first of all, I want you to know that you are not alone, that the reason I'm sharing this message is because, this is something that I am hearing from people reaching out to me. I had someone reaching out to me this morning who said those very words. I am on my knees. And a few days ago, again, somebody else has lost a couple of clients and it really shut her down. So this is what I want to say to you. This is what I want you to hear if this is resonating with you, you're on that cusp. When you are in a stressed state, you lose that faculty of resourcefulness. You shut down your natural states of creativity, of inspiration, ideas, and you are in a disempowered, immobilized, and unresourceful state. So this is what just maybe like a shift in energy will help you snap out of. So the first thing I want to say is when you are in a state like that, when you're panicking around money, the easiest thing in the world, the most natural response is to then catastrophize. Like we lose perspective. So it's really important to actually sit your butt down and look at the reality of the situation. And this is in pounds and pence. So what is the reality of the situation? Because very often when it's all just in here and we're in that sort of catastrophizing state, we make it bigger and more scary and it feels like it's been forever. So we just want to get down on paper, like pounds and pence, what is the current situation and what needs to be dealt with now? Because often it's not so immediate as now that things need to be dealt with. So you may be catastrophizing about a bill that has to be paid next week. Well, that's next week. What we want to look at is what is immediately needed to be dealt with now. And that will just give you that perspective, because you have breathing space. It's a whole week, and the universe can move mountains in a week. So much can shift, on a I don't know what the expression is, on a dime, I don't know, but things can change very, very rapidly. So it's about looking at what is realistically in your face that needs to be dealt with immediately. And when you are just looking at the situation in front of you, you will always deal with it, because you always have. When you are faced with a situation that needs to be dealt with, you have always dealt with it. So remember that, pull on those past evidences of your own resourcefulness. So that's the first thing. It's about getting some perspective on this. The other thing is knowing that when you are in a state of panic and stress and anxiety about money or about any situation, you have literally given your power away to that situation. You have given your power away. When you are in a state of fear, you have given your power away. So I want you to take your power back. And this isn't necessarily about kind of stepping up into action. I'm not talking about sort of stepping into that kind of warrior state. That may come, that may be what you need to do, which is great. But when I'm talking about taking your power back, it's about being in the situation you are in, but without the charge, without the fear, without the emotional intensity and the meaning you've given it, the stories you're telling yourself. So this really is about being able to sit with the stir of emotions. So if you are in a state of panic, it's sitting down and allowing yourself to be in that energy flow, because that's all it is. It's just movement of energy, but it's stuck inside you because you've chosen to identify with it and then reinforce its truth, relative truth. It's not the truth of who you are, but you've made it feel true for you. So the way to dissipate that fear and take your power back is to actually allow it to be there so it can move through you. It's almost like I always see the fear or panic or anxiety or dread or, you know, guilt, shame, any negative emotion. It's stuck energy in your body that you've reinforcing through the meaning you've given the situation that is seemingly created your emotion. It's never that way, by the way. It's always the other way around. But in this moment, just be with it, allow it to move through you, just go into it, and it will dissipate, and you will start to feel an upsurge of positive power coming up inside of you. So you want to reconnect to that part of you that is just so freaking powerful. It's there, but you've just got fogged over and lost that sight of who you are. And then I want you to just really pull on using what is your supreme power of imagination. You know, Einstein said your imagination is everything. There is a quote, you'll have to Google it, I can't think of the top of my head, but imagination is greater than, you know, any kind of scientific theory or whatever. It's just, your imagination is everything. I really wish at this point I could remember the Einstein quote about imagination. It might simply be imagination is everything, but think, you know, Genevieve Berend wrote a book called, you know, your power, your secret power. What she's talking about is your imagination. So when you can literally just go within, deal with the situation. I'm not saying ignore the situation. Deal with what needs to be dealt with right now. Get some perspective on it. Clear the charge, that negative energy, and then literally switch off your senses to what is in your 3D reality, because all of what is in your reality belongs to how you used to think and feel. Yesterday, last week, last month, it's a culmination. You manifested this situation based on a culmination of how you used to think, feel, and therefore how you used to behave. So if you can close down your senses to what is manifest right now, because that already is old news, to quote Abraham, it's old news. Go within and start to visualize what it is you do want, how you do want to feel. Take deep breaths and start to picture that abundant bank account, the clients coming in. Feel yourself smiling, feel yourself joyful, feel yourself in gratitude and celebration. And as you do that, it starts to shift your state. And in that shifted state, you become resourceful again. You're able to mobilize yourself into action. You get new ideas. You make better decisions in that moment. And so act from that energy, act from that state. So I hope you found this helpful. As I said, it's just, you know, inspired by what I'm seeing around me and certain people reaching out. So I know that there will be some of you out there who can relate to this. So I hope you found this helpful. State management is everything. It really is how you feel, how you think, how you then respond will create a new set of results for you. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for watching, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye for now.